Are you ready, Monarchs fans? It's time for the Old Dominion Football Show with Bruce Rader and Coach Bobby Wilder.
It was as challenging as we thought it would be. Old Dominion fans got what they wanted, a chance to see their Monarchs at home against a Power 5 team from the ACC. North Carolina's overwhelming defense stifled the Monarchs from the get-go, but while they lost the game, Coach Bobby Wilder found his quarterback. But no rest for the weary. Tomorrow, ODU loads up the bus and heads out to Blacksburg. Where do we begin? How about with the coach? The Old Dominion Football Show starts now. Hi, everybody. I'm Bruce Rader, along with head coach Bobby Wilder. Hey, Carolina was hitting on all cylinders last weekend, but, Coach, at least you get a breather on Saturday. I mean, all you have to do is take on the 13th ranked team in the country, Virginia Tech, in Blacksburg. Nobody can criticize you for having a weak non-conference schedule this season.
No, not at all. And a lot of credit, Bruce, to North Carolina, Coach Fedora. They came in. They were desperate for a win. We just could not get it going in the first quarter, Bruce. They had 25 plays to our 9. We're only down 11-0 thanks to our defense, but no first downs. We weren't playing well on special teams, and as you mentioned, now here we go, headed to Blacksburg.
And the news everybody has been talking about this week, the play of 17-year-old Steven Williams against the Tar Heels and his promotion to starting quarterback, and you made that call as soon as the Carolina game was over.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bruce, and this is not a reflection of Blake LaRusse or Jordan Horry, we're just so banged up on offense right now, and you've got 4 of your starters and your 2 best players. I mean, Lowry's out for the year. Jonathan Duhart's out for the year. Melvin Vaughn hasn't played yet, our tight end, and Chad Hendricks, our right tackle, didn't play. It was really hard on those guys, and I felt like, Bruce, in the second quarter, we just needed something to spark and ignite us, and he had practiced well since he's been here all through August. He knows the offense, and he came in, Bruce. He was in for 9 drives in this game, Bruce. On 5 of them, we either gained significant yards. On 3 of them, we scored. So he played a little more than half a game, and we scored 2 touchdowns and kicked a field goal. That's pretty good production.
How do you prepare a kid who last year at this time was playing high school football to go before 66,000 people at Lane Stadium and face a Bud Foster defense that is always tough at Virginia Tech? And this is a defense that shut out Delaware and held East Carolina to just 17 points. This is going to be very intimidating for Stevie.
Yeah, it is. The number one thing that has to happen, Bruce, the team needs to rally around him, which they did. In the second half, we talked about it at halftime. You know, I challenged everybody in the organization. We have a freshman playing quarterback, and you got to rally around him. And they did. We played much better in the second half. So that's the first thing. You got to rally around him. Number 2, what we've focused on this week is what he does well within the system. We've got to feature what he does well. And then the third thing, I've been talking to Stevie about this all week, just relax and enjoy it, have fun. You know, we're going up there as heavy underdogs. So his development from this point on is critical, Bruce.
All right. You were honest the past few months that the quarterback position was in flux and that you would not hesitate using 2 quarterbacks, maybe 3 if you had to. My question is Stevie Williams on a leash?
He is not, Bruce. He is our quarterback. Anytime you make the move, and it's always a difficult decision, but to take a red shirt off a player, particularly a quarterback, then you have to stick with him. And we had a competition going through camp. We went with Blake and Jordan. It just wasn't working out, Bruce. And I can't say enough. It's not all on them. But Stevie's a dynamic player. He's a very talented player. We have to now develop with him as our quarterback. And the way I'm looking at it, Bruce, this will be 9.5 games in the regular season that he'll start at quarterback. That's 9.5 games to develop, to lead us. Then hopefully you're playing for some extra games in December. So this is a critical time for him and for our program.
DeMarco, Heineke, Washington, you've done it before.
We have.
He's the quarterback of the future now. You have, on many occasions in your career, had to keep your players focused when they were playing teams that they were expected to beat. Now, Tech's next game after Saturday is against Clemson, the number 2 team in the country. Coach Fuente has made it clear that he's worried about his Hokies looking past ODU.
Yeah, I can't speak for Justin, but I would expect they'll be ready to play in this football game. Generally, my experience with this, Bruce, you're playing somebody that you've got an advantage over. Big game next week is you've got to do everything you can with everybody in your organization, players and coaches, talking about the improvement, what we need to do to improve as a team. So you're not necessarily talking about winning a certain game. You're talking about here's what we need to do to improve in all three phases, and you try to keep the focus on your own team.
All right. Injuries to key players, as you mentioned, have totally changed the makeup of this year's team. So who is out for how long, and what's the long-term picture?
Yeah, I've been coaching 30 years, Bruce. I've never seen anything like this, particularly this early in the season. We have 49 players right now on the injury report, 49 players that have some form or some sort of an injury. Offensively, 4 starters are out. We got a couple guys out on defense. You know, we know that Duhart's out for the year. Lowry's out for the year. We're hopeful to get Melvin Vaughn and Hendricks back after the bye. We had a couple more players get hurt this week in practice. So really, all we can do, Bruce, is go up there with the players we've got, compete to win a football game, and then we've got that bye week next week to get ourselves healthy going into league play when we turn the focus on trying to win the league.
I know you're only focused on this season, but what about next year? Can some of these star players come back?
Yeah, we'll have the ability with Duhart, with Lowry to apply for a medical red shirt. Lowry only played a few snaps in the first game against Albany. Duhart played about a game and a half, so we have that ability to apply for that. So there's a strong possibility those 2 players, and neither one of those players redshirted, Bruce. They played as true freshmen 4 years ago. There's a strong possibility we'll have them both back next year.
All right, and Stevie Williams will have a year under his belt. O'Shane Zimenez is a big reason that the Monarchs lead the entire country in sacks, and when we return, the big fella dares to enter the 1-minute drill with Brian Parsons, and we go to the mailbox as Coach Wilder answers your questions in the Coach's Corner. That's next on the Old Dominion Football Show.
I'm Brian Parsons. Welcome back to the Old Dominion Football Show, the 1-minute drill, and we have with us here defensive end O'Shane Zimenez, who is now wearing number 7. Are you switching to quarterback with that number?
I should. I really should make that move, but I'm gonna just stick with defensive end for now.
What's the weirdest pronunciation you've heard of your name, last name?
The weirdest pronunciation is probably somebody not pronouncing it at all, just not even trying. Just like, just leave it alone.
There goes O.
Yeah, just O. That's what it goes.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Nice and Slow by Usher.
Oh, how about giving us a little sample?
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. I got a real pretty little thing that's waiting for me. I pull up, anticipate. That's all y'all get.
My goodness, O'Shane has talent here, other than rushing the passer. What was your favorite thing about the Bahamas Bowl trip?
Just like seeing like the scenery, like the beaches were nice, and like just seeing like all the happy families there enjoying their time. That was the best thing.
Did you swim with the dolphins?
I didn't swim with the dolphins.
Would you swim with the dolphins?
Probably not.
If you were a WWE wrestler, what would be your finishing move?
Choke slam.
Like The Undertaker?
Yeah, like The Undertaker.
All right, let's say you're in the NFL. Okay, hopefully you are one day. Who's the one quarterback that you want to sack?
Oh, definitely Tom Brady. Just because there's just too many Tom Brady fans, and I just want to disappoint them, so Tom Brady.
O'Shane Zimenez has passed the 1-minute drill. He can sing, too. He's brought tunes with him. O'Shane, say goodbye to the Monarch Nation.
Goodbye, Monarch Nation. See you on Saturday.
Coach, he's the pride of Hertford County right there off of 1st Street. You can still play in a small town like Ahoskie and make big-time college football, can't you?
Yeah, he's special, Bruce. He's a Dean's List student, outstanding football player, as you saw right there. One of our team leaders. He's a captain as an underclassman, so he's our aim high philosophy, person, student, athlete. He's the whole package.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Still to come, the Coach's Corner as the Old Dominion Football Show continues. Time now for the Coach's Corner. Remember to email me your questions at bruce.rader@wavy.com. Coach Thomas from Chesapeake reminds us that Zach Pascal was just added to the Tennessee Titans 53-man roster. What's it like to see another one of your players suit up in the NFL?
Oh, it's so exciting, Bruce. Everybody in our organization yesterday, when we found out that he made the 53-man roster, I know his phone was blowing up. I immediately hit him with a message. He got right back. He is absolutely thrilled. We don't know exactly what his role will be in the game against the Seahawks. I anticipate it'll be a lot of special teams. Hopefully he'll get added because one of their top wideouts is out, so hopefully he'll get some time at wideout. But this is an exciting time. We've had Rick Lovato, long snapper, has played. This is the first position player in the history of Old Dominion to play in an NFL game. Very exciting.
Lovato with the Eagles. Thousands of Old Dominion fans will be making the trip to Blacksburg, and the Old Dominion Band will join Tech's two marching bands, the Marching Virginians and the Heidi Tidies at halftime. It is really going to be a festive atmosphere.
Yeah, I think everything about this game, Bruce, both schools, give both schools a lot of credit on working through this. I go back to Mr. Weaver, Coach Beamer, for agreeing to this series 13 times in the next 15 years. So now you get a sellout crowd Saturday. We're going to have 4,000 or 5,000 fans that are going to travel. It's going to be a great day for college football and a great day for both schools.
All right, and let's not forget, after Tech, Conference USA, Florida Atlantic, Marshall, Western Kentucky. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we obviously, Bruce, we want to win this game. We want to get our record to 3-1. We want to pull off this monumental upset, but we get a bye next week, and then it's 8 straight weeks in the league. As you know, last year, Bruce, we were 7-1, tied for first. Western Kentucky got us because they beat us head-to-head. The goal is to win the league, play in that conference championship game, and go to our second bowl game.
All right, a lot more to talk about as the season goes on. Parking lots of Tech open Saturday morning at 7 a.m., and it's a sellout, as the coach mentioned. It's going to be a beautiful day in Blacksburg. Temperatures in the low 80s, sunny all day. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Bruce.
Join us every Thursday night here at 10:45 on Fox 43 for the Old Dominion Football Show.
Have a good night,
Good night, everybody.